What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. So today we're going to do a stimulus package update. We're going to take a look and listen to Roy Blunt. Now, Roy Blunt he's a Republican. He's in the Senate leadership. And so it's very important to hear what he has to say about another round of stimulus checks and another stimulus package, because we do know right now the holdup is the Senate. Okay, right now the Senate we have some senators that don't want to move at all when it comes to another stimulus package. Is Senator Roy Blunt one of them? That's what we're going to find out. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Now, this is on CNN. And this was earlier today. So let's take a look.
I want to move on to coronavirus because this obviously is an important time in the pandemic. The United States reached 2,000 deaths per day. Tens of millions of Americans are going hungry this Thanksgiving. Unemployment benefits ran out months ago for some. Others, the extensions will run out next month. Congress has completely failed to do anything in recent months. So will you help struggling Americans before Congress adjourns this year?
Well, I hope so. You know, I've been one of the major advocates that we need to do this. We need to do this now. We need to continue the funding for the vaccine, the delivery of the vaccine. We need to stabilize, though, through that the payroll protection effort that worked so well. Direct money to struggling families would be helpful, and some extension of unemployment. But the problem was...
All right, before he talks about the problem... So he said some good things. He's talking about PPP, he's talking about testing and tracing, and he's also talking about direct payments. So those are good things. Those are things that we want to see in another stimulus package. But of course, there's a reason why this can't get done. And so we're going to hear his side of the story right now.
That our friends on the other side of the building thought that it was $2.4 trillion or nothing. Half of that would have made a big difference, and then after the first of the year we could have dealt with this again. I think it's a huge failure on the part of the Congress, and I'm disappointed by it. The president was prepared to sign almost any size bill. I think they didn't want to give him that bill before the election, and now we can't seem to figure out how to give it to him after the election.
All right, so the first thing, and I don't like how politicians do this, is 2.4 trillion. We know it was 2.2 trillion. It went down to 2.2 trillion. But that's beside the fact. So they always fudge the numbers a little bit in their favor. Now, yes, President Trump, the White House was open to at least 1.9 trillion. But the Senate was not open to 1.9 trillion. And that's why it didn't go anywhere. It's not just Nancy Pelosi that didn't want to move on 1.9 trillion. It's the Republican senators. They didn't want to move on 1.9 trillion. And Mitch McConnell told the White House that. And so they didn't really have anywhere to go when it came down to another stimulus package because of that. So you're always going to hear politicians, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you're going to hear them blame the other side. That's the reason why things aren't getting done. But when it comes to a situation like this, they need to come together for the American people. And that's, you know, I do not understand how a politician can say that something needs to get done, but it's the other side that's holding it up. You guys need to come together. If you can't, then there's no reason for you to be there. There is no reason for you to be there if you cannot come together and come to some type of resolution. I don't care if it's 2.2 trillion or 2.4 trillion. I don't think the average person, they just want help. The average small business, they just want help. They're not looking at that number that all these politicians are quoting. Well, we don't want to go that high. They're not looking at that number. They just need help. And then once you get the help, then you can start working on how to pay it off. But when you're in a crisis, you need to deal with the situation. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
But you think now there will be a compromise and people will get the help they need?
Well, I don't know that there will. I'm certainly working hard to make that happen. And, you know, Admiral Giroir talked earlier about what we've done with testing, what we've done with vaccines. We've really written two new big chapters
wrong. It's just
in how to respond to a pandemic. Something he said I think maybe wasn't quite noticed. He said that there was 70 million point of service tests produced in October. There were another 70 million that were kind of overnight tests. That's more tests than Americans had taken the entire time up until October 1. So we've had this great surge in availability of testing. Now we need to get people to take the test, and the vaccines are going to be available a year quicker than anybody anticipated, and hopefully people most impacted get those vaccines first, then essential workers who come into contact with most people with people get it second, and by then you're into late March, and maybe 50% of the whole population that wanted to get a vaccine had access to that vaccine. And that's how we work through this. A great effort on the part of the Congress and the administration to write these 2 new chapters and how you respond to a pandemic.
All right. So that was Senator Roy Blunt. Now, it's interesting. She asked him, do you think it'll get done in December as far as another stimulus package? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. And not a real strong endorsement for another stimulus package. He's saying that, yes, we need it, but I don't know if it's going to get done. And you are the leadership. You're in the Senate. You're Senate leadership. You're the one that's supposed to be directing some of these politicians, steering them in the right direction. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going to happen next. And so that should show you a lot when it comes to how how serious they are about moving forward with another stimulus package, at least right now in December. So maybe in January, once we have a new administration, maybe there'll be a new sense of urgency when it comes to another stimulus package. But I'm still not seeing it. I'm not seeing it with the senators. They're not saying that they want to move forward. They're really not. And so we'll have to see where it goes. We do have the Georgia runoff. You have those 2 seats there. If both those seats go to Democrats, then now the Democrats will be running the Senate. But if we have a split, so if we have 1 Democrat, 1 Republican, then it goes to it'll remain Republican leadership. And if both seats go to Republicans, then now they have even larger margin when it comes down to it. But very interesting. I mean, at least Senator Roy Blunt talked about direct payment. So I think that's good. That's a good start. But the leadership needs to talk to some of these other senators that do not want a stimulus package at all, because that is what's holding everything up. Because if you're in the Senate, because understand, the Senate and the House, they need to come together, vote on something, approve something, and then send it to the White House. So even if the White House is saying that they want this or they want that, they want 1.9 trillion, it means nothing because the Senate has to agree upon that. And the Senate did not agree upon that 1.9 trillion. And that's why it didn't go anywhere. So we have to get something from the Senate where they're saying, okay, yes, we agree on whatever this stimulus package is, this next stimulus package, vote on it, approve it, send it over to the House. The House will vote on it, approve it, send it to the president, and then the president can sign it, whether it be President Trump or President-elect Joe Biden in a couple months from now. So let me know what you guys think about this whole conversation down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.